Hi, students. How are you? Yeah, that's amazing. Of course, I'm also doing fine. I'm doing great. So, today, let us learn another important topic, and I'm sure we are all going to have real fun. Now, tell me, right now, what are you doing in the class? Yes, you are listening to me. What am I doing? I am speaking or I am talking to. I am teaching, right? So, what about all these words that is listening, speaking, talking, teaching? These are all some action related words. So, let us see, let's learn some more actions. Okay, now, can you tell me what am I doing? Drinking, right? I am drinking the juice. Okay, yeah, what is this? This is a banana. What am I doing? Peeling, right? This is called peeling, peeling the banana. Okay, and take a book. And what am I doing? Reading, right? And now you tell me, what am I doing? I am writing. So in all these cases, some action is involved. So these actions are said to be the verbs in English language. So the verbs are nothing but the action words to say in general. Of course, there are some verbs that are not in the form of some action. That also we are going to learn today. And okay, you tell me, what have you been doing? Or what kind of actions that you have been doing since morning? Yes, walking, running, right? And dancing, singing, playing, running. Okay. So, like this, you have been doing so many actions. So, all these actions are said to be the verbs. So, without delay, let's learn some more interesting action words with the help of a display over here. I'm sure you are going to enjoy them thoroughly. So, what do you mean by the verbs? So, the action words are the words that show the action forming the core of the sentence. So, the verbs are nothing but the action, they represent some action words. Okay, they represent the action words in general, right? So, of course, the verbs are all under parts of speech because all the words in a sentence are divided into uh, like noun, pronoun, verbs, adjectives, prepositions, etc. So that we learn little later. So today we are going to learn about the verbs or the action words. So would you like to see some more action words here? Yes. Look here. See, what is she doing? She is walking. What about this man running? Look at this woman. She is laughing. See, look at the small baby. She's crawling, right? And look at this baby. What is he doing? He is crying. And what about this woman doing? She is pushing something. What about this gentleman? He is pulling something towards him. And look at this girl. How curiously she is listening to something, right? So here, listen. See, look at this woman. She is singing, right? So sing is the action. And look at this cute baby reading, right? So read and like that stand up and sit down. See, first he is standing, then he is sitting. Sit down and stand up and come here. And what is she doing? She's smiling, right? And what about these people doing? They are dancing so gracefully. So look here. So all these walk, run, laugh, crawl, crying, pushing, pulling, listening, singing, reading, or to stand up and sit down, think, of course, it's not thinking doesn't come under action verbs, and smiling, dancing. So all these words, they are forms of different actions. So these actions are said to be the action verbs. The verbs are more specifically the action verbs. Okay, now there are also some non-action verbs. Can you guess? See, here it is one example. Think. Sometimes we think, right? So that is also a verb. But of course, it is a non-action verb. And would you like to learn some more non-action verbs? Yes, come here. So non-action verbs describe states of being. Being means how you are. Happy. I'm feeling happy, right? I'm feeling sad. So they're happy and sad, or the non-action verbs. Senses, like I smell, I taste. Emotions, okay, like showing anger. So let us see here. Also, here, worry, love, welcome, dislike, love, hate, fear. So these are all some of the non-action verbs, right? Thinking, lo- to love or love, feeling sad or worry. So all these come under uh, the non-action verbs. But most of the action words are said to be the verbs. And but there are few non-action verbs as well, which you should know. And also another important, the most important point to note here is the verbs. They come in three forms. What are they? That is the present form, V1, and past form, and that is V2, and past participle form, that is V3. So, what is the difference between these three? Why a verb is supposed to be having these three in these three forms? Yes. So, here, if an action is happening at the present time, at the time of speaking, or in or during that particular time. Okay, that is the first form of the verb is used. That is V1 form or the present form. If the action was completed sometime back, then that is said to be in the V2 form or past form. Then what about the past participle? It is used in the perfect tenses. If the action has just been completed, for such actions or for to express, we use this past participle. See here some example. You can find them here. For example, take. Okay, I take a cup of milk every day, right? So that is what is happening every day. That is present form. That comes under present tense. So we use take. And it changes into took in the past form. Usually I take a cup of milk every day, but yesterday I took a cup of coffee, right? And the V3 form, past participle, if the action that is completed is just fresh, then we use this form. See, taken, I have just taken my pen. Okay, I have just taken my pen back from you, right? So take, took, taken. So these are the three forms. In the same way, see, I see a movie per day. So, last week I saw an interesting movie, right? And see, just now I have seen him. Just before I have seen him. So that the memory is quite fresh. So that is in the V3 or the past participle form. And look at other examples. Make for the present form. Made, made, give, V2, gave, given, V3 form. Come, came, come. Say, said, said. Keep, kept, kept. Know, knew, known. So here, know is also a non-action verb. Remember that. Okay, so the remaining all here are said to be the action verbs. So here the point is every verb is placed in three forms. So that is in the V1, V2, and V3. In other words, in the present form, present tense, or the past tense, and the past participle. So present form of the verb should be used in the present actions, right? For the actions that take place regularly or at the time of speaking, we use this type of verb. And of course, even to express for the actions that are going to take place in the future, also we use this form of V1 only. But before them, we have to add either will or shall. Okay, I will take, right? So for present form, it is I take. And the past took. Past tense means for the action if it was already completed sometime back, then we use the past form. And past participle means if the action has just been completed and where the memory is quite fresh. For such actions, we use this third form. Right? So these three forms of the verb are very, very important. So before I conclude, so let me once again or revise what we have learned in this class. So we are learning about the action words. In other words, which we call them as the verbs. And the verbs are the parts of speech. So the words, as you are aware, the words in a sentence can be grouped into 8 categories. So one of them is the verb, and it is just like the brain of the body. Okay, very, very important. So the verbs are of two types. That is the action verbs and non-action verbs. So we have seen where some physical movement is involved. They're all said to be the action verbs. And where there is no physical movement involved, like dislike, I like, love, I love, fear, I worry, I think, right? So these type of uh, expressions, okay, are said to be the non-action verbs. So like this, there are two types of verbs. So that is point one. And coming to the final one or the second one, as I told you, every verb has to be placed in three forms. That is the present form, past form, and the past participle form. So the V1, V2, V3. So V1 is used, the V1 form of the verb is used uh, to say the actions that are happening in the present or that are going to take place in the future, right? And V2 form is used for the actions that were already completed some time back. And coming to V3, they are used if the action is just completed and if the memory is quite fresh. See, for example, I go to office every day. Okay. I go to office every day and went. Yesterday I went to market, right? Or last week I went to a big shopping mall and go went gone. So here is the gone. Just now he has gone out, right? So likewise, we use every verb. We have every verb in three different forms that are to be used as per the tense or the timing of the action. So with this, I'm going to conclude the lesson about the verbs. Thank you very much.